For years, the Prius was the car that defined what it meant to be a fuel-efficient hybrid. Now for this current generation, a new exterior design. It's sleek, it's attractive, and we're gonna talk about it in today's video. We're gonna do a quick walk around of the exterior, check out the powertrain, check out the interior, and of course, take this thing for a test drive.
Just bought your dream car or thinking about a new ride? Whether it's a brand new vehicle like the one featured in this video or your trusty everyday driver, our partners at legendarycarprotection.com have your back. Recommended by classiccars.com, they offer top-notch coverage for new cars as well as your current classic, collector, exotic, or daily driver. Because your dream car deserves a dream protection plan. Visit www.legendarycarprotection.com to get your free quote today. For 2025, you can get this Prius in 4 trims, but you can option every trim to be either front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. The prices that you see here reflect the front-wheel drive models. The price for upgrading to the all-wheel drive models will run you around $1,400.
What we have here is the 2025 Toyota Prius Nightshade. This is the front-wheel drive configuration, but you can option for the all-wheel drive. Now, this color that you're seeing, what do you guys think? This is called a Karashi. It's one of only 3 colors that you can pick for this Nightshade. It's either black, white, or Karashi. Definitely like a mustard yellow color. I think I like it, and I really think it works with this Nightshade package. You get the black emblem, you get the black splitter down here, and it's not just normal black. Under the sun, you can see it sparkle. It looks phenomenal, and that's going to continue as we check out the rest of the exterior. But taking a look at the front end, appreciating the new redesign, tell me what you guys think, because I think Toyota's moving in the right direction. This looks fantastic. I wouldn't say I'm kind of embarrassed to drive a Prius anymore with it looking, this sleek. I love the headlights. I love the overall shape of the vehicle. It's round, but the accents on the vehicle are sharp. I think it is a nice contrast and it works very well. Just loving what I'm seeing. We got hidden parking sensors in the front. As we move to our wheels with this Nightshade trim, we are getting 19-inch gloss black wheels with this gloss fender trim right here. Beautiful, again, sparkly, just like our black side mirrors. Unfortunately, not power folding, but they are power operated. You see more of that black on the roof, down the B-pillars, and even on the door panel. I am digging it. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments.
Overall, this is a much sleeker Prius than the ones you might remember from a decade ago, especially again in this Nightshade trim.
All right guys, as we come to the rear end of the vehicle, more of that black stuff that I was talking about with the Nightshade package, black badging. I love our protruding like taillight. I love the design, it's funky, and I love the dagger shape that it kind of tapers into. As we look at our badging on the rear, it says Prius, nice and spaced out, very modern. 2 to 3 or 4 parking sensors just below that, some more black elements, but let's stop talking about that. Let's see how practical the new Prius is. Opening up the lift gate, it opens very easily. It's not power operated, but not an issue at all. What we're greeted to is 20.3 cubic feet of space. We have this little privacy folder here that you can simply attach up top and make sure that when you're out shopping, putting your groceries in, no one can walk by your car and peek into your hatch to see what you got. Now, if you're after even more practicality and storage space, simply pull this little lever, shove those seats down, and both of those will fold down completely flat. Love to see it. Definitely a practical vehicle still. Unfortunately, something not as practical is the absence of a spare tire for the rear. As we look underneath here, there is quite simply nothing going on. I believe you can option for maybe an air compressor or a few little things, but no spare tire. Unfortunately, with hybrids, there typically has to be a sacrifice in terms of rear storage capacity, because that's where the battery, all the electric stuff is gonna lie. So guys, with that being said, I say we take a look at what is underneath the hood. All right guys, lifting up the hood here. Nice and light. We do have a prop rod, which is no big deal because this is an affordable vehicle. What we're looking at is that same naturally aspirated 2-liter inline-4 mated with Toyota's hybrid system. We have one electric motor in the front. Total vehicle output is 194 horsepower. If you opt for the all-wheel drive version, you will get 196 horsepower, and that's courtesy of the extra electric motor for the rear.
Now those power levels may not sound like much, but keep in mind this Prius is pretty lightweight, so it's going to give it just enough punch to feel peppy in city driving and surprisingly capable on the highway. The 0 to 60 time is right around 7 seconds flat, which is a huge leap compared to the old model.
All right, so with this front-wheel drive Prius, we're looking at a miles per gallon of 52 across the board. If you opt for the all-wheel drive one, you're looking at around 49 miles per gallon across the board. Definitely not too shabby. Toyota continues to lead when it comes to fuel efficiency. Now, of course, all of this is mated to an eCVT. Let me know what you guys think about that down below in the comments. All right, well, with the engine wrapped up, I say we hop in the driver's seat and see what's going on with the interior.
Inside, the Prius Nightshade comes pretty well equipped. The layout is modern, it's clean. We have a digital instrument cluster mounted high up near the windshield and a center 12.3-inch touchscreen. Of course, that is going to be wireless Apple CarPlay compatible and Android Auto compatible as a standard. We're also going to get a wireless phone charger and multiple USB-C ports. The seating material is Toyota's soft tech synthetic leather, and the Nightshade model includes heated front seats and a heated steering wheel. There's also a power driver's seat with lumbar support.
Typically when I get into a new car, and a lot of maybe people who are shorter get into a new car, what they'll do is they'll lift the seat up all the way so you can see over your hood, and in turn you lift the wheel and you bring it up, right? If you were to do that in this Prius like I first did, what's going to happen is the top of the wheel is going to be blocking your TAC display. So it's pretty high up there, and it almost makes me think that it's supposed to be kind of like an alternative to a heads-up display, so you can kind of keep your eyes relatively on the road. But what that is going to do is when you get in the vehicle, you're actually going to want to lower yourself. You're not going to be able to see what's over the hood, and you're going to have to bring that wheel pretty far down. It was an interesting change to be in such a low car and then get even lower in the seat, but after driving with it, I actually really enjoy the way it's positioned and how I'm currently sitting. It makes it almost feel bigger than it really is. And speaking of the wheel, it is buttery smooth, and also it features everything that you would want in a steering wheel. I love this new design. It's kind of chunky, but I think it's kind of charming as well. We can control our volume, we can change the songs, our cruise control, answer calls, and whatnot. Now, I will say about the interior, the volume knob is in a pretty precarious place. I basically have to reach all the way over here to turn the volume up or down. I don't know why they couldn't just invert the screen and have it be on this side. Maybe too many buttons on this side. I don't know. I'm glad that you can still change it with the steering wheel, but just one of those little things where it's kind of just a pain in the butt. Now, as we look up to our rear view mirror here, it's very easy to play with. We have garage control, so we can program our garage remotes. Now, if you opt for the limited trim, you can get the rear view camera. I would totally option for that because it's a feature I've grown to love in all these new cars. However, again, at this price point, I'm not complaining for what we're getting. As we look even higher, we have a manual sunshade, as we do also in the rear, which is kind of funky, but I'm gonna do a hot take and I say I prefer this over the electronic stuff. Maybe it's not as attractive, but it's way easier, and practicality goes a long way for someone like me. All right, so as I'm sitting back here, I'm pleasantly surprised with actually how much space there is. I'm 5'10" for scale. I've got plenty of headroom if I were to grow up a little bit. I like how they did kind of a cutout to make it seem like we get a little bit more space, but there is really not a lot going on back here. It's pretty just flat black. I will say it is still very soft on the seats, on our little center cup holders, because I'm someone who likes to kind of sit always with my arms having support. So very nice, love it. Very plain though. Another thing, there's an absence of AC vents back here. Even though the front works very well, if you got passengers in the back and it's hot like it is here in Arizona, it takes a while for it to kind of cool down back here, which is definitely noteworthy. I think, you know, with these small hatchbacks and small SUVs, it's so hard to incorporate AC vents for whatever reason. Maybe it's too expensive, maybe it's just not thought out well enough. I don't know, but I just would love to see that included in something like this, maybe even in the B pillars here. Regardless though, we do have 2 USB-C ports down below, so if you have kids or you just want to stay connected back here, you can do so. So with that being said, guys, I say the rear is wrapped up. Let's take a look to see how well this Prius drives.
On the road, this thing drives very smooth and feels quite responsive. The hybrid system transitions seamlessly between gas and electric power, and I have to say acceleration is more than adequate for daily use.
The suspension on this thing is supple enough. It definitely is a short travel vehicle, so going over bumps at speed can be a little jarring sometimes, but the ride quality is very smooth. I love the steering wheel and how buttery it is, and when you put this thing into sport mode, I'm really impressed. The drive modes actually do something. You have eco, normal, and sport. Throw it into sport, the steering wheel's gonna get tighter. It's gonna feel like it has a bit more punch to it. I gotta say though, when you do put it in sport mode and you kind of get on it, this engine screams, and honestly, it's more like a groan. I wouldn't say it sounds great, but it definitely has enough punch. This thing drives more like a sporty, compact vehicle rather than maybe a traditional hybrid, and I'm all here for it.
The Prius uses a regenerative braking system blended with traditional disc brakes. So while the pedal feel still has that slightly synthetic edge, which is kind of common in these new hybrids, it is very predictable and easy to modulate. I have to say, handling is where this new Prius really separates itself from other generations. It's built on Toyota's new TNGA-C platform, which is going to give it a lower center of gravity and stiffer chassis. The result is going to be a hybrid that feels more composed through corners and just less floaty overall. With the facelift Toyota gave this thing, the great MPGs, I'm seriously considering buying one of these things as a daily driver. I'd think I'd probably go with the Nightshade trim in all-wheel drive format, of course, all blacked out. This is just not your typical Prius anymore. It's sporty and it's quick. I think this is, again, a good direction for Toyota. Very affordable in terms of a new car, reliable, and now very good looking.
I really enjoy how point and shoot this vehicle is to drive. You sit down in it, you push to start, you go. You get from point A to point B, always predictable. There hasn't been one moment when I've been driving this thing where I've been like, why did the vehicle do that? Or going over a bump, you know, been tossed to a certain side of the road. It has been very pleasant and very easy to drive. Now, and you know, this thing is kind of quick. And I am sitting in the driver's seat and I'm looking out this big windshield and my visibility is just fantastic. I love the angle that the A-pillars are in. It's very aggressive and angular, very cool. Now I want to describe it as kind of like I'm sitting in a spaceship, but I wouldn't say a spaceship is the right term. Maybe like a modern Zipster. It's small, it's cute, and low-key, it's got enough power.
The 2025 Toyota Prius Nightshade Edition takes a car known for its eco-credentials and gives it a more stylish, confident personality. You still get all the fuel efficiency and reliability that made the Prius a household name, but now comes with a sharp design, solid tech, and real driving dynamics.
All right, guys, if you're someone like me who has totally written off the Prius these past couple of years for being either sluggish or just kind of unattractive, I would say with this new generation, it's time to take another look in Nightshade format. Guys, remember, everything we have said is subjective. We'd always recommend go to your local Toyota dealership, give one of these bad boys a spin, and then let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Also, if you're in the market for a collector vehicle or a classic car, go on over to our website, classiccars.com. That's our online marketplace with over 38,000 listings live on the site nationwide. We also have a sister website, autohunter.com. That's gonna be our 7-day online auction. My name is Luke, guys. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see y'all in the next video.